Hey, boys and girls, this is Miss Brown, and I will be doing the skill builder. I'll be doing a weekly review number 12. The first one says 3,553 divided by 11. So I'm just going to work that out for you. So I'll rewrite it. Okay, so I'm going to do my steps to division. I'm going to write that up here just so you can see. It's divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. So first I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide this number on the inside by the number on the outside. So I'm going to break down each number, do each one of them, so you'll see what I mean. So 3 divided by 11 is the first thing I do. So I know that if I have the number 3, if I have 3 or something, I can't take 11 out of that. So that means 3 cannot be divided by 11 because 11 is a bigger number. So 11 I can get 0 groups out of 11 out of 3 because 3 is smaller than 11. So I can't do that. So that's going to be 0. So I just divide it. Now I'm going to move to my M, which is multiply. And to help you remember this, the steps DMSB, divide. D stands for divide, M stands for multiply, S stands for subtract, and B stands for bring down. So you can remember that as dirty monkey smell bad. So, or you can think of it as remember it as does McDonald's sell burgers? Anything that can help you remember the order of DMSB, or even dad, mom, sister, brother, however you can remember that. So divide is the first step. I just did that. Now I'm going to multiply 0 times 11, which is 0. And then I'm at the S, which is subtract. So I'm going to subtract 3 minus 0, which is 3. Then I'm at the B, which is bring down. So I'm going to bring down my 5. The next number is the number I always bring down. So now I'm back at the D, which is divide. So I'm going to divide 35 by 11. So I'm trying to see how many groups of 11 I can pull out of the number 35. So I just have to try something. I can try 11 times something to see what can get me close to 35. So I'm just going to try 11 times 3 because I know 11 times 3 is 33. And I know if I go again, that's going to be 44. So that's going to put me over. So I have to stick with 3 groups. I can't go over 35. I'm trying to see what times 11 gets me as close to 35 as possible without going over, and it's going to be 3. Then I'm back at the M, which is multiply. So now I multiply 3 times 11. So whenever I put a number up here on the top, I always multiply it by the number outside the box of the house. So 11 times 3 is 33. Now I'm back at the S, which is subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2, and I know 0 minus 3 is 0, so I don't even have to put that 0 down. Now I'm back at the B, which is bring down. So now I'm bringing down this 5 down here. So now I have a number, new number 25. So now I'm trying to see what 25 divided by 11 is. So what times 11 can get me as close to 25 as possible? And I know that's going to be 2 because I know that 2 times 11 is 22. So if I do more than that, it's going to put me at 33, which I already found that out. So now I need to multiply 11 times the 2, which is 22. Then I'm at the S, which is subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. And I know 2 minus 2 is 0, so I don't even have to do that. So I don't have to put that 0. Now I'm back at the B, so I'm going to bring down this 3 here. And now I'm trying to do 33 divided by 11. Well, I know that's 3. So 3 times 11 is 33. I subtract that and I get 0. Okay, so my answer would be 323. That's what that answer would be for that division problem. Okay, next one. Number 2. Let me scroll up so I can see it better. All right, so for number 2, it says which value. No, it says it's just asking you to fill in the line 1, line 2, and line 3. So you're going to be putting the missing numbers in these spots. So in order to do that, to know what those numbers are, I have to solve it. So it's a multiplication problem. So it's 456 times 32. 6 times 2 is 12, put my 2, carry my 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. And then 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Just double checking myself. Yep. Now I'm going to put my 0 to hold my place. Mark out my 2, mark out this 1 up here and this 1 up here that I carried over. Now I'm going to multiply everything up here by the 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. Put my 8, carry my 1. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 makes 16. And then 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 makes 13. Okay, let me just go back and double check that. 6 times 3 was 18, 8 carried the 1. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. I put my 6, I carried my 1. 4 times 3 was 12, plus 1 was 13. So, yep, now I can add that up. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. Put my 5, carry my 1 right there. 1 plus 3 is 4. And then that 1, bring it down. So 14,592 would be the answer. And I have to also put in the missing value. So 912 would go here. 13,680 would go here. And then your final answer, 14,592, would go on line 3. And okay, next one says which value correctly completes the equation. 24 times blank equals 6,672. So to find out what I multiply by 24 to get me 6,672, I need to divide 6,672 by 24 because I can do multiplication, but I can undo multiplication by doing division, and I can undo division by doing multiplication. So it's like the opposite. So I can just divide that to see what I get, and whatever I get, that's going to be my missing number because it's like a fat family. The 3 numbers will be together. So I'm going to just divide. Remember the steps: dirty, mucky, smell bad. Sorry, I can't write above that. I'll put it right here. Dirty, mucky, smell bad. So divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. And let me just make sure you're still watching this. No, I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to do another little hidden message inside this video so I can make sure you're watching the whole thing and not just fast forwarding to the answer. All right, so 66. I'm going to do 6 divided by 24. I'm just going to work through it step by step so you can see what's happening. I know 6 can't be divided by 24 because 24 is bigger than 6. So that's going to be 0 times. Then I multiply 0 times 24. That gets me 0. Then I subtract and I get 6. Then I bring down my 6. Now I'm doing 66 divided by 24. I'm trying to see what times 24 gets me 66. So I'll try 24 times 3 just to see what that is. 4 times 3 is 12. Put my 2, carry my 1. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. So that put me over 66. So now I need to try 2. I know it's going to have to be 2 because it can't be 3. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. So they got me 48. That's the closest I'm going to be able to get. So that's going to be 2 groups. So that 2 goes up here. Now I multiply the 2 with this 24. So 2 times 24, I already know is 48. Now I subtract 6 times 8. I can't do that. So I borrow from my 6. This 6 becomes a 5. This 6 becomes a 16. So 16 minus 8 is 8. And then 5 minus 4 is 1. Now I am bringing down this 7. So I have 187. So I'm trying to see 187 divided by 24. I need to see what times 24 gets me 187. So I'll come over here and try something else. So let me try 24 times 7, just to see. That's 8, that's 2. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 2 is 16. So they got me 168. Probably as close as I'm going to get, but I'm just going to try 8 to be on the safe side. 24 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Put my 2, carry my 3. 3 times 2 is 3. I'm sorry, 2 times 8 is 16, plus 3 is 19. So that put me at 192. So that's too much. So I know it had to be 7. So that 7 goes up here. 7 times 24 is 168. Then I'm subtracting now. 7 minus 8, I can't do that. Borrow from my 8, it becomes a 7. And 7 becomes a 17. Now I can do 17 minus 8, that gets me 9. And then 7 minus 6 is 1. And of course, 1 minus 1 is 0, so I don't even have to write it down. Now I'm bringing down my 2. So now I have 192 divided by 24. I'm trying to see how many groups of 24 gets me 192. And look at it, I already tried 8 and it got 192 exactly. So I know it's going to be 8. That goes up here. Then I multiply 8 times 24. That gives me 192. And I'll subtract that and I'll get 0. So my answer is 278. Okay. And yep, so that's 278. And that's it for that one. The next one says write the expression and solve. The product of 8 and 7 divided by the sum of 6 and 2. So now I'm going to put my hidden message in here. So I just want you to know that my favorite sport is basketball. So I want you to write the word basketball at the top of your paper. Then I will know you watched this video without just fast forwarding to the answer. So my favorite sport is basketball. So at the top of your paper, write the word basketball. This says write the expression and solve for number 4. The product of 8 and 7 divided by the sum of 6 and 2. Let me go up just a tad bit so that thing won't be in the way. Okay. So I know product means multiply. So I'm doing the product of these two numbers, and that and is between those two numbers, so I know they have to be in parentheses. So the product of 8 and 7. So that's going to be 8 times 7. Okay, so once I get the product of 8 and 7, I'm going to have to divide it by the sum of 6 and 2. So I know I'm dividing, and then it says divide by the sum of 6 and 2. Well, I know 6 and 2 are going to have to be in parentheses together because they have that and in between them. And it says divide by the sum, and I know sum means I'm adding. So that's going to be 6 plus 2. So 8 times 7 divided by 6 plus 2. Because it says the product of 8 and 7. So I'm going to get the product of 8 and 7 by multiplying 8 times 7. And then once I get that, I'm going to divide it by the sum of 6 and 2. So now I can go ahead and work it out. So 8 times 7 is 56. And then I'm going to be dividing that by the sum of 6 and 2. So I'm just rewriting that. You don't have to, but I am, just so you can see step by step. I could have went ahead and did the 6 plus 2 and then wrote that down here, but I'm just going to do it step by step. So 6 plus 2 is 8. Now I'm going to do 56 divided by 8. 56 divided by 8 is 7. So the answer would be 7. Okay, next it says, scroll back down. Okay, number 5. Compare less than, greater than, or equal, using less than, greater than, or equal to. So right now I have 3 pounds compared to 40 ounces. Well, remember, we can't compare things if they're not the same. So I need to get them to be the same. So I will convert the pounds to ounces. So I'm going to do 3 pounds equals blank ounces. So that means pounds big, ounces little. So I'm going from big to little. So I'm going to be multiplying 3 by however many ounces is in a pound. And I know that's 16. So 16 ounces is in a pound. So I'm going to do 3 times 16 to find out how many ounces is inside of 3 pounds. And I know 16 times 3, let me do it again. 16 times 3 is going to be 6 times 3 is 18. Put my 8, carry my 1. 1 times 3 is 3 plus the 1 makes 4. So that's 48 ounces. So now I have them both as ounces. So I'm just going to put 48 ounces right here. So now I'm comparing 48 ounces to 40 ounces. Well, I know 48 is bigger than 40, so that means my sign would go that way. Now I'm going to do the other one is 1.6 kilograms, and they want me to compare it to 160 grams. So I'm going to turn this kilograms into grams to see them both as grams, so then I can compare them. So I'm doing 1.6 kilograms equals blank grams. Well, for this one, I know I can use King Henry because it's the metric system. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So I'm going from kilograms, which is right here, to grams, which is at the base. So I move how many times? That's 1, 2, 3 jumps. So I'm going 3 times. So now if I take my points 1.6 and I move that 3 times to the right, my decimal has to go 1, 2, 3 places. So that 0 is 0, goes there. So that means my decimal's at the end now. So my number is just 1,600 grams. So I'll go back over here and write 1,600 grams just so I can see them right beside each other. So I have 1,600 grams, comparing that to 160 grams. Well, I know 1,000 is definitely bigger. So that's going to be that way. Okay. Now, next one says a high school football team started at 7:10 p.m. and ended at 9:55 p.m. How many total minutes was the football game? So if it started at 7:10 and ended at 9:55, I could do my T-chart to see how much time passed by. So I know if it's 7:10, trying to see the most I can add first. So if I go from 7:10, if I add an hour, that'll be 8:10. So I can do an hour. Let's see if I can I add 2 hours. If I go from 8:10 and add another hour, that'll put me at 9:10. So yes, I can add 2 hours, but I can't add three because that would put me at 10:10. So I could do plus 2 hours. Then if I do that, it's gonna be 9:10. So now I can't add hours anymore, but I need to get to 9:55. So I can do increments of 10. I know that's an easy number to work with, so I'm gonna do that. So if I do plus 10, it's going to put me at 9:20. Plus 10 more minutes will put me at 9:30. Plus 10 more minutes will put me at 9:40. I could have did something bigger, but I wanted to keep it easy for you guys. Plus 10 more minutes will put me at 9:50. So now I'm at 9:50. I can't do 10 more minutes because that would put me over. So I have to do, I'm trying to get to 9:55. Well, I know there's going to be 5 more minutes that's going to put me there. So I'm going to do 5 minutes, and that'll put me at 9:55. Now I have to see how much time passed by. So that was 2 hours. And then how many minutes do I have? 10, 20, 30, 40, 45 minutes. So my question says, how many total minutes was the football game? So I need to convert the hours to minutes, and then I can add those 45 minutes, and that'll give me the total minutes. So I have 2 hours, and I want to know how many minutes that is. So I know that I'm going from big to little, and I know there are 60 hours in a minute, so I'm going to multiply 2 times 60. And I could just do that as 2 times 6, which is 12, then add my 0, because whenever you multiply by a power of 10, remember, you could just do the base facts again. So that's 120 minutes. So that's 120 minutes plus the 45 minutes that was already there. So that's 5, and then 6, and then 1. So 165 total minutes. So it would be 165 minutes as your answer. Speaking of games, my team, we played our first game this Saturday, basketball team, and they won. The score was 62-52. So at the top of your paper, I want you to put 62-52. So I know you heard that. That was the score of our game, 62-52. All right, next one says the factory produces 175 soccer balls every single day. How many soccer balls will the factory produce in a month if the month has 31 days? So they produce 175 soccer balls every day, and it was 31 days. So I'm just going to do 175 times 31. 5 times 1 is 5, 7 times 1 is 7, 1 times 1 is 1. Put my 0 to hold my place. Mark out this 1 because if I didn't use it, I don't have anything to mark out up here because I didn't carry anything. Now I'm going to multiply everything up here by the 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Put my 5, carry my 1. 7 times 3 is 21 plus the 1 makes 22. And then 1 times 3 is 3 plus 2 makes 5. Let me just make sure I did that correct because I'm going kind of fast, trying to hurry up before the bell rings. So that's 5 times 3 is 5 times 1 was 5. 7 times 1 is 7. 1. Put my 0. 5 times 3 is 15. I put my 5. I carried my 1. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 1 makes 22. Put my 2. I carried my 2. 1 times 3 was 3 plus 2 was 5. So, yeah, I did that correct. So now I can add it up. 5, 2, carry the 1. That's going to be 4, and then 5. So 5,425 soccer balls would be the answer. 5,425 soccer balls. You need to make sure you write soccer ball. So I know that you heard this. And soccer balls is in the question, so you can spell it. All right, next one is 8. It says write the missing value in the problem below. So in order to see what value, what number is missing, I need to just solve the problem. So it's 74 times 23. I'm sorry, 74 times 43. 74 times 43. Yep. So 4 times 3 is 12. Put my 2, carry my 1. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 1 is 22. Then I put my 0 to hold my place. Mark out this 3. Mark out this 1. 4 times 4 is 16. Put my 6, carry my 1. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 1 is 29. Add that up. That's going to be 2. That's going to be 8. It's going to be 11. Carry my 1. It's going to be 3. So 3,182. But my missing number is what they wanted to know. So that would be 2,960. That's what would go in this blank. Oh, and I just noticed something. This 2 right here is a 5 right there. So that 5 should be a 2. Okay. Anyway, it still got the answer, but that was just a mistake. This 5 right here should actually be a 2. But your answer is what's going to go here. You could just write it out to the side. 2,960. All right. And then number 9 says Miss Gammon baked 400 cookies. There are 25 students in her class. If she passes out all of her cookies, how many cookies will each student receive? So she's handed out the cookies. She's dividing the cookies amongst her students. So this is a division problem. So I'm going to divide 400 by 25. So 20, now I need to divide, multiply, subtract, read now. Those are my steps. So I'm going to start with my 4. 4 divided by 25, I can't do that. So it's going to be 0. Then 0 times 25 is 0. I'm going to subtract, I get 4. Bring down my 0. Now I'm doing 40 divided by 25, trying to see how many groups of 25 I can get out of 40. Well, if I multiply 25 times 2, that gives me 50. So I'm just going to show you 4 then. So that's too much. So I can't do 2 groups of 25. So I can only do 1. So 1 times 25 is 25. Subtract that. Can't do 0 minus 5. I need to borrow from my 4. That becomes a 3. And then I can give a group of 10 to my 0. That becomes 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. And then 3 minus 2 is 1. Now I bring down the 0. Now I'm trying to see what 150 divided by 25 is. So now I need to see how many groups of 25 can get me 150. So I'll try 6. And that's 5 times 6 is 30. I put 0, carry 3. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. But it got me right on at 150. Okay, so that's going to be 6. So 6 goes up here. Then I multiply 6 times 25. And of course, it got me 150. Subtract that, I get 0. So my answer would be 16. So each student in her class will receive 16 cookies. Make sure you put 16 cookies. Okay, and then the last one, 58 times 97. What's your favorite cookie? Write that at the top of your paper. What is your favorite cookie? Mine is Oreo, so I would write that at the top of my paper. But you're going to write what your favorite cookie is. 8 times 7 is 56. So I'm going to put 6, carry my 5. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 5 is 40. Put my 0, put my 4. Put my 0 here to hold my place. Mark out my 7, mark out my 5. 8 times 9 is 72. Put my 2, bring up my 7. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 7, 52. And if you don't know that, you use those fingers to add it up. So 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. That's all you have to do. Now you can add that up, and that's going to be 6, that's going to be 2, that's going to be 6, and 5. So 5,626 would be the answer to that. And that is it for this video. Bye.